What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing something that I haven't done in a very long time, and that's cracking some slabs. And to keep it really simple, for those of you that don't know the ancient ritual of cracking slabs, it's when you crack a slab, literally like crack it open, and then submit it to another grading company. And I know some of you guys are probably thinking, Tony, why would you crack the slab? Why would you risk damaging the card? It's already graded. Why do you want to send it somewhere else? And that's for a couple reasons, but the biggest reason is because grading companies are like egotistical, psychopathic middle schoolers, in the sense of like they're really immature. They think like their product's the best product, so they really don't give anyone else a fair shake. And in a literal sense, I mean, they could take a slab like this SGC 9, and they can look at it, they can go, yeah, that's an SGC 9, so that's probably going to be like a PSA 7 or 8 at best. And then what they'll do is they'll slap a 7 or 8 grade on it and then send it back, and then the value goes down, and that's obviously what I don't want. We want to remove the bias altogether, and that's why you usually have to crack these bad boys out of their slabs. And speaking from actual experience, I've sent probably around 50 cards out to get cross graded at other grading companies. I've sent PSA to CGC, I sent SGC to PSA, I sent Beckett to PSA, I sent PSA to SGC. I've sent cards everywhere, and out of those 50 cards, only 4 of them crossed out of 50. So that's like less than a 10% chance of actually like crossing a card. It's a big waste of money because you still have to pay even if they don't want to reholder it for you in the grade that you want. So I said, screw that. I'm done paying a boatload of money just to get told no. And that's what a lot of other people feel as well. And that's why people crack slabs. So hopefully that makes sense. And now you guys are probably wondering, what slabs are you going to be cracking today? These bad boys, these are SGC graded Pokemon cards from a 2010 World Collection, exclusively released for the World promos. These cards are hard to come by in complete sets and high grades. I mean, I'm looking through eBay right now and there's not many. And a little fun fact about these cards before we get into it. Most of these cards use the Heart Gold Soul Silver card frame, but the Korean and Portuguese versions use the Diamond and Pearl series era frame instead. I don't know why they did that, but just a fun little fact. I've had these cards in my PC for a while and they're awesome cards, but I just want to send them to someone that will appreciate them more, and not many people or collectors really want to tap into SGC. I use them a lot for my personal collection, but a lot of people just prefer PSA, so that's what I'm going to be sending them to today. And as a disclaimer, guys, make sure you do your research, make sure you know what you're cracking, make sure you know how to crack. What I'm about to show you guys on camera is how I personally crack slabs. I don't do it often. I'm not like a super seasoned pro. There are probably people out there that do it way better than me, but cool, just want to get that out of the way. Now let's get cracking. First things first, I grab a rag. I don't want the plastic flying everywhere, and so covering the pliers and the slab will help kind of mitigate all of that. The next thing I do is I take a nice pair of pliers. You can use a bunch of different tools for this, but pliers seem to work best for me. And I pick a corner and I start to clip off that corner. Once enough material has been clipped off, I'll slide a flathead screwdriver under the actual plastic. Then I'll twist it, and then I just kind of go throughout the top end of the slab doing the same thing until I kind of get an even layer of cracking and releasing from the two pieces of plastic. I'll use my fingers to pry up the top piece of the plastic and slowly take it off, not damaging the card in the process. Then I'll flip it over, let the card fall into my hand, and immediately put it into a sleeve and top loader. This process for me is really fast, efficient, and safe for the card. Some people have some fancy tools or tricks that they use, but this is just very simple. Anyone can do it, and this is how I go about all of my slab cracking. And within a few minutes, they were all cracked and ready to be sent to PSA. Whenever I crack, I like to keep the labels. It's almost like a little reveal for me, so when I do get them back from PSA, we'll be able to compare. And I package them up and just watch the Talk to a podcast on repeat until the cards came back.
Say it aggressive, like
really. You know, that bit was supposed to go on for another 5 to 10 seconds, but I couldn't put y'all through that. That was some serious brain rot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to skip to the part where I get the cards. We're going to show off the grades, and let's just forget about everything I just showed you. So these cards were also sent off with a larger PSA sub, so I'm going to have to go through this big bad box and find the Pikas. Also, look at this. Wow. That looks beautiful. Almost as good as like a nice fresh pepperoni pizza. All right, so I got all 9 of the Pikas here, guys, and we're going to go through them, and we're going to see how we did. The Korean Pikachu was an SGC 9, and it came back a PSA 9. The German was an SGC 10, came back a 10. The English was a 10, also came back a 10. The Polish was a 10, and it came back a 9. The Spanish was a 10, and it also came back a 10. The French was a 9.5, could have gone either way, and we got a 10. The Italian was a 10. That came back a 10. The Japanese was a 10, which came back a 10. Also, fun fact about the Japanese Pika, it actually comes in 2 different colors, a green and a blue. The green, the one I have, is the 7-Eleven version. The blue is another version that came with a different packaging at a different retailer. But another cool little fun fact about this set, the Portuguese was a 9.5, could have gone either way, and it came back a 10. And to put it simply, guys, we broke even. And I'm not talking about financials, I'm talking about the grades themselves. We had our French and Portuguese Pikachus get upgraded from 9.5s to 10s. And then we had our Polish Pika knocked down to a 9 from an SGC 10. Now in hindsight, I probably should have submitted these at a higher tier level. Yes, it would have been more expensive, but I actually would have really liked to see the graders notes and to see why they knocked down the Polish one so far. But nonetheless, I'm content. The goal was to cross them from SGC to PSA and to keep the grades relatively the same, which they did. We didn't get any 8s, so I'm content with this sub. But now my question to you guys is, what do you think? Do you think you need to crack a card out of its old slab in order to send it to a different company? Or do you think that you can just kind of send it in as is? I think personally for me, I'm going to stick with cracking. I don't do it often, but when I do, it usually pays off pretty well. Always curious to hear your guys' thoughts, and make sure to stay tuned and subscribe, like the video, and comment down below what types of videos you guys want to see next. We're always running experiments. We're always doing stuff like this. I appreciate everyone that has subscribed. We've gained a lot of subscribers in a very short period of time, and I just really appreciate it, guys. So take care, eat some good food, hang out with some good people, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.